morning. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP. Thank you all for joining us and staying with us to the end. Honorable Knowledge Seeker, today I am your host for the morning. My name is Badhul Dash. I am from Bangladesh. Dear Knowledge Seeker, I am proud to be associated with IGP. IGP is a social and certified international educational and training institute. In last 3 years, we already served 35 million plus knowledge seekers from 100 plus countries. IGP is internationally recognized and globally accredited. We are connected to more than 450 plus profession and 4,500 plus organization. In Institute of Global Professional, IGP is a training faculty for skill development, which was founded in 2020 and is generating competent candidates to meet demand in the global labor market by providing professional qualification. The Institute of Global Professional is an educational institute that provides social work globally recognized and reportable. We serve student and community resource providing holistic social work and education. We believe that it's not effective to increase one skill just by acquiring formal education. So we provide effective training and consultation to generate proficient generation all over the world. We distribute our services locally, nationally, and internationally to student job seeker, job holder, and also for learner the respective campus location and distance learning platform. We are an occupational and dependable institute. IGP is one of the famous online institutes from all over the world. Our vision is education is not a business product, it's a part of our human rights. Based on our vision, we are trying to reach all corners of the world for free webinar, seminar, courses, award, quiz competition, mentoring, and counseling, etc. On the other side, we are also trying to offer more than 100 premium services for free, like create own portfolio website, resume builder, cover letter, motivation letter, and wow knowledge platform for gathering general knowledge which can update all day. Kids learning game website, free course, combat sites, and many more. We help to empower you to learn to meet their expectation and dream and become highly skilled people. We implement several training program, webinar, and offline online courses for you, the learner, by professional trainer, speaker, and coaches. Our sessions are conducted by globally renowned professionals to develop all kind of youth and to promote the education of their abilities and personalities. Spreading knowledge is crucial for the Institute of Global Professional. We believe that knowledge is love and light and vision. So we try to understand the needs of today's generation and serve them with good research and practice methods. We must have a genuine concern for the learner we represent. More diversity, growth, and innovation are required to lead a session with professionalism, passion, and integrity. IGP members are committed to offering effective best quality service and continual improvement so that individuals who seek information can improve their skill level and value. Before we move to the next, let me remind, don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Before we move to the next, let me remind, don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, we already completed 1,512 webinars successfully. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, we already completed 1,512 webinars successfully. Dear IGP speaker, participant, and well-wisher, at this moment, this is a very important message for you all. We changed and designed our website, www.edioigp.com. On this website, we have surprise for everyone. Hope you will be benefited. We already launched our new website where you can find all our previous activities together with lots of new features. But one strong point is that without an account or logged in, you cannot enjoy our services. So create your account for months with profile information. Note that with profile information, you will enjoy all features. With mismatched data, you cannot do anything here. From now on, you have to participate in live quiz competition on our website. We replace Slido. You have to join directly on our website. Now you can check all of our previous webinars with verified e-certificate. Now it's easier and time oriented because after the session, we will not provide you any code for certification. You have to take part in one exam. After that, if you pass, you will receive your certificate, otherwise not. But you can take part in an exam unlimited till you pass. If you are an IGP speaker, you can download all your previous speakership certificate. If you are a host of IGP, you can download your certificate of gratitude. If you are an online live quiz competition winner, you can download your certificate of participation. If you are selected for a lifetime membership, then you can download a certificate of lifetime membership easily. Besides this, if you participate in any award function which organized combined support with IGP, you can download that also. You can instantly prepare and download 18 types of instant certificates from our website within a minute. Certificate of Global Professional Membership, Certificate of Global Influencer during the pandemic, Certificate of Active Knowledge Seeker, Certificate of Social Activities during the pandemic, Certificate of Achievement IGP Knowledge Seeking Campaign 2020, Certificate of Achievement IGP Knowledge Seeking Campaign 2021, Certificate of Achievement IGP Knowledge Seeking Campaign 2022, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 1, Authentic Assessment in Teaching and Learning, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 2, Teaching English as a Foreign Language and Assessment, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 3, Digital Classroom Engagement Tools, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 4, The New Trend in Education, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 5, App Skill Organizational Leadership and Managerial Skill, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 6, Trend and Innovation in Mathematics Education, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 7, Research Comprehension Approach, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 8, Art in Teaching a Special Program in the Art, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 9, 21st Century in Teaching Mathematics, Certificate of IGP Corporate Ambassador, Certificate of IGP Campus Ambassador, which you can prepare and download within a minute. From now on, you can participate in 1,000 plus international level quiz with verified e-certificate. Teaching tips for teacher, health tips for parents, health tips for teens, gamification tools for teacher. You can join IGP Alumni. You can check out our 50 plus premium services website for free and many more. Dear IGP well-wisher, we promised previously, but lack of technical issue, we are late sending you on time. This is a great opportunity to collect your previous membership. We solve all issues from our website. Now you can enroll, reset password, everything. You can check out our dashboard for all webinar details. It's a cordial request to check all button and pages on our website. Surely I can say you will be benefited. Thank you, but note that without an account or login, you cannot enjoy our services. At present, we are going to start our 1513th webinar, which name is Research Impact. And today our speaker's name is Dr. Shobhik Ganguly. He is from India. Before I hand over the stage to our speaker, sir wants to share a very little bit about him. Assistant Professor, Department of Electrical and Instrumentation Engineering, Thapar Institute of Engineering and Technology. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with his presentation. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with his presentation. Good morning, sir. And
Good morning. Very good morning. Yeah, thank you so much.
Sir, please present your presentation.
PPT is not available?
No, sir. We can't see the presentation.
No, it's there. Research Impact, you can check out.
No, sir. There is only one screen and we can only see you. There is no other screen here.
Okay, let me once again reload it.
Okay, sir. Take your time.
Can you see it now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, fine.
Okay, sir. The stage is yours. You can start your presentation now.
Okay, fine.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay. So, once again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to whichever part you are. We are going to introduce today a very interesting topic from a research domain, that is research impact. What impact is, how impactful is your research, or how will you propagate your research through social media and all those platforms. Previously, 20 years back, 25 years back, we used to have, we wanted to create some new ambience for research, but nowadays, how impactful is your research is also judged by the amount of propaganda that you make. The quality is also important. The quality of research is always important, but sometimes how do you propagate, how do you get linked through different social media platforms. So we are going to talk about that in today's discussion. So myself, Dr. Shovik Ganguly, I am serving as an assistant professor in the Department of Electrical and Instrumentation Engineering at Thapar Institute of Engineering and Technology, that is situated in Patiala in the northern part of India. So we are here to share now our background regarding research impact and how will we go about in the process. Now, first of all, we would like to see some of the commonly used definitions that we have for research impact. So, more people benefiting out of a research more quickly, or in other words, we can say that more impactful is our research, we will get its corresponding profit or something of that sort. So, one that is helpful for the society, societal need, we call it something that your potential for achieving some desired society outcomes, or something that you benefit from of economy, society, cultural, as well as public benefit issues, health issues, everything can be covered. So you can see out here there are several definitions given by UK, given by some National Institutes of Health, National Science Foundation, as well as the Australian Research Council. So more or less, they all talk about how your research is beneficial for the mankind, for the society, for the culture, for the public interest, or even your health issues as well. So this is what we call as research impact, or what we define as research impact from the different literature that we have taken. Now there is another important book you can talk about, that is called the Research Impact Handbook. This is available online as well. Those who are having the access of internet, or you can download this book. This book is also available in the different platforms like Amazon, Flipkart. So all these informations will be made available, and this is also available online too. So in this particular book, what I mean to refer over here, what are the different types of impacts that your research can have? This is being talked about in this particular handbook. So understanding the awareness. So what you understand by the research problem, what problem has been addressed, how society has been benefited, and its awareness. Say, for example, we are doing any research, and if that research comes into the market, or that particular product is coming into the market after, say, 5 years, 7 years, or even more, so that impact or that awareness is not beneficial for the society. So obviously, uh, uh, the understanding and the awareness and the benefit should be immediate. Some economic benefits must be there. Some may work on some cost effective design or something of that sort in engineering aspects. Some may look into the environmental issues as well, right? So some may consider the health as a primary parameter for health concerns. It can have some impact as well. Some policy making, say for example, the energy and the environment people, they work mostly on the policy issues, the energy policies that they frame for the benefit of the society, for the well-being of the society. So energy policy can be a type of impact that some people may have out of the research. And other forms of decision making, say for example, change in behavior, change in impact, or cultural impact as well, some other societal impact as well. And also it also gives you the capacity of preparedness, how prepared you are for your research. So this is a must read book. You must as participants, you must go into this book and understand in details the different aspects of a research. Now, talking about research is sometimes or most of the times being funded by some different uh, councils or different research foundations. we talk about, since we are having audience from different scales, so we thought that we should discuss in such a way that most of the benefits that we can have explore from UK, from Australia, from National Science Foundation of US as well, European Commission. They also have some program for funding are given. So there are different funding organizations that you may find out here. UK Research and Innovation. You may find European Commission, which looks into the Horizon Europe, and the UK Research Councils as well. You may have Australian government to be funding, or through the Australian Research Council. Even you have the Science National Science Foundation in US. So these are the potential funders for the different European or UK or US organizations. Likewise, we in India do have it as a DST, a Department of Science and Technology, that offers. Maybe in your country there are different organizations. So what are the expectations of these funders, what they look into in your research, what they actually think over that, what impactful or how impactful, or what are the measuring things that they look into before they offer you the grant. So they require some statement of potential. They assess some research impact, right? And uh, they are into some engagement and impact assessment. They are also there is also a detailed exploitation and dissemination plan that is being provided, which has to be provided by the researchers in order to accept or in order to get their funding from these particular organizations. So this is how they are. There is a quality check. There are some assessment criteria, definitely. So obviously the research will be impactful, then only your funders can give you some grants. So obviously this is another way of getting your research being funded through some reputed organizations. Maybe in your country there are different. Now, apart from that, there is also some expectation from the public, from the taxpayers, from the donors, from the other funders, from the research participants as well, from the beneficiaries, means those who will be benefited due to this particular research. Say, for example, if there is a research on environment, if there is a research on some health related issues, some policy related issues by the government. So energy policy can be one of them. So in this way we can have our research being made impactful. So there are some expectations from the public as well, from the society as well. So how will it benefit, how impactful is your research, or how will it benefit the society at a large? So these are the different aspects that we may think of doing. And every researcher from the bottom of the heart can take it a note that these things should be addressed, that what societal benefit I can have, what impact can my research have on the healthcare of the society, on the environment of the society. So some products you are designing, whether there is some radiation effect or something of that sort, these has to be minimized. So things are of that sort. There are energy policies as well. Those are framed almost in a decade. You may expect some good policies to be coming up, and with the global warming and all those effects, those policies must be in place and at the right moment. So few may be working, or few may be researching on the energy policies as well. So these are the things. These are some of the things that you may think of going forward. And hopefully we can have these sort of expectations from the public, from the researchers as well, from the volunteers as well, from the taxpayers, from the funders as well. So it is a mixed reaction that you may get from the different funders as well. I told you about the different expectations of the different funding organizations, some of the top funding organizations that we have mentioned over here. Apart from that, researchers own expectations, that how impactful is my research, whether it will generate some future funding, whether it will have impact on my career. So these sort of things that you may think of, that time has come now not to focus only 100% on the research, but also how you are having some publication metrics, how you are looking at your research impact through different social media, or how do you progress yourself through your career, your funding, your absolutely your different measures. So there is a survey which has been carried out. I have taken it from some another research platform which we call as Kudos. Kudos is one of the interesting platforms that propagate through. They want to propagate your research as well. There are several such platforms like ResearchGate, Research Square, Kudos. There are several. List is endless these days. So how you are communicating your work, how you are pitching your work, basically, and how you make your collaborators, your networking, and this is how you progress for future funding, you progress for your career ahead as well. So most of them, as you may find from this particular graph or respondents that are there, that 64% feels that their research is very important for the society. If they feel that they are reasonably important, and some which we say that only 5% they feel that their research is not important. So you can well make off from this particular study, from the respondents, that how it's important that you have to communicate your work, you have to post, you have to post in social media platforms, through LinkedIn, through other social media platforms, and how you can make your own funding generation, career propagation, networking, new collaborators, everything can be having through this linkage. So this completes your part one, where we talked about impact and why impact matters. Mostly we talked about. So impact is a proven change in the real world. So what kind of a change that you want to bring about through your research potential, and where does it matters, why it matters that everyone has a right to share the scientific innovations or the scientific advancements or the benefits that we extract out of it. Should everyone should know it, everyone has a right to share it as well. And also sometimes the funders, your funders, will also expect it to happen. So this is what we talked about so far in our discussion on research impact, that what proven change that you want to bring about, and how will you share your scientific advancement, and what benefits does it have for the society, for the healthcare, for the environment, and for other benefits as well. And how do you attract your funders as well, and what is the expectation of some of the funding agencies that we talk about, top renowned funding agencies that we talk about. It's not very easy to get immediate funding from these type of organizations. There are several in your country. It may be each and every country looks for some science and technology foundations or organizations or departments or something of that sort. You may expect that how willing they will be, and how what is the rate for disbursing these funds to you as a researcher out of the lot which are applying. So you have to be maintaining absolute niche in your research impact in order to get the funding for these organizations. So this is my second part. We are studying that. Hello, anybody can hear us. So hear us means how impact, or what impact can I create from my research, or how am I having any awards or recognition, or any celebrations, or by virtue of which you get to know that when we post that I have been receiving so and so awards, and everyone will be definitely eyeing at that, some prestigious awards as well. So definitely that indirectly means that there will be some sort of recognition at the back end. So how my research can have impact, for which I am receiving some recognition of my work, of my research, of my potential. So my second part will uh, help you people, that how do you reach out to people, how do you propagate your research, how do you engage your audience, and the third part, what behavioral patterns or what attitudes or what awareness you must change, or that will have impact on the society as well. So reaching out to the audience is the most important thing that it starts with. When you talk about research impact through some social media platforms, some different ways by virtue of which we propagate our research, we get ourselves noticed. So this is also equally important, apart from the impact that you have or create in your research. If you are delivering something new, if you are innovating something, and if it's not propagated to the market, and if it is not marketed, of course your uh, research will have zero impact. So you have to reach out to the audience, get to know that this is the best thing that we can have. This is how people can benefit out, people can uh, society can benefit out, or some healthcare problem that you have been able to resolve, some other innovations that you have carried out. So there must be some communication channels, and here is the best way out is to propagate through the journals in which, or the impact factor of the journals that matter. So readability will of course depend upon the impact factor of the journals, or the top quality journals if you are publishing, or if you are willing to publish, definitely it is one of the better communication channels. Apart from that, there will be some communication channels that will lead to uh, your networking or your collaboration, your work getting noticed to uh, different people, and from different multidisciplinary teams, or something of that sort. So reach is of course how we can achieve reach is the first point, that you need to have contact through different social media platforms, through different research platforms as well, like ResearchGate, ORCID. We talk about Research Square, we talk about other kudos, everything that we talk about these days. Now, how to engage your audience, or how we can address their problem, help them understand your research with some plain simple language, some summaries, some keywords, some visuals, audio visuals as well, some audio materials as well. Podcast is also an important these days, that you can engage our audience as well, and help them understand your research. That is most important. If you write something that is too complex, or people will definitely lose track out of you. So whatever or however way you are reaching out to people or engaging people, you have to write or use simple language, use some summary form of things, use some key messages or keywords by virtue of which people can relate you, or they can establish networking with you as well. So, once again, let me talk about change and impact as well. Change in behavior, attitude. You should have a positive frame of mind, your awareness on a particular topic, about some processes, about some policies. Of course, if you are working on some energy related policies, so obviously some awareness must be also be there about the process, about the environment concerns that we have. What are the previous existing policies that we are dealing with, and what amendments that you are suggesting, whether it will be beneficial for the society at a large or not. So these are some of the things that matters for the change. And of course, change in attitude, how you develop your research skill, how you develop your research domain. You have to forgive that I have only created this particular thing. You have to exchange your research. Sometimes we share our codes as well to the public in order to get our networking going through smoothly and establish some good collaboration with the other countries as well. Apart from that, we can amplify for any change. For example, from if it's a local thing, or if it's a national level thing, or it's an international level thing, what impact we can have through amplification to that particular change, or how we can amplify that particular local problem, or a national level problem, or an international level problem as well. So there are three things which we talked about, like reach, engage, change, and impact, by virtue of which we can achieve some form of research impact. Now, once we are communicating any research problem, there are three things which are most important for your, it is a secret we can have for achieving your research impact: who, what, and where. So these three things will give you that way that how you are communicating your research. So this is my second form of discussion, or part two, you can say, about what we are talking about today in the morning session. So whom you are, or who you are addressing, what you are delivering, and where you are propagating, or where you are having. So these three things, or these three words basically suggest that how will you communicate your research, how will you make others know about your research, and however simple words you are proposing or putting the summary, unless and until you know that who is your target audience, whom you should deliver, and what you should deliver, and where it should deliver. So unless and until these connectivities are established, your communication will not go well, or your communication with respect to the research impact will not go well. So talking about in a better way that how researchers can benefit from who, what, and where, researchers need to get better at extracting the key message to the audience they are targeting. So target audience must be, every researcher must be very clear that what kind of a target audience that he is having, and how simple you can make your message in your social media, through your infographics, through your graphical abstracts, uh, that even a layman can understand your work as well. So if you make something very difficult for people to understand, people will lose track, or your audience will lose track about it. And we need to have a detailed form of conversation, which we'll do, of course, about who, about what, and about where. So we will have it a little later. Yes. So for which we need to understand this particular diagram, that what we are targeting, whom are our target audience, whom are our stakeholders, whom to whose benefit it is going, or whom we are advocating, and how will you amplify, and what is the public doing, or what kind of a role does it have. So first, talking about the target audience for your research, that you need to be very precise, you need to be very you need to be very much aware of what target audience that you are fixing for your research. If you are working in the science, if you are working in the technology areas, if you are working in some interdisciplinary domain, if you are talking, you are working in social sciences, basic sciences even. So depending upon that, your target audience will definitely differ. So whom you are propagating, right? Being a researcher, what you are communicating, or how you are communicating, who are your service providers, who are your policy makers. So you should have a very clear idea about who, what, and where, and how are your, who are your stakeholders, who are your beneficiaries, whether you are working in some research organization or in some institute, whether you are in a medical profession where you are dealing with some healthcare issues, whether you are a professional, whether you are working in an industry, some residents, some whether I'm a your beneficiaries can be funders, your stakeholders can be your funders as well. So these type of things that needs to be propagated. And of course, how do you amplify some policies through some media, through some press linkage, podcast, as I told you. These are some things which are coming up these days, by virtue of which you can make your research much more impactful as well. Now, to make yourself understand, you have to think plain and write plain. This is a very renowned statement. If you want to make yourself understand, you have to think simple and you have to write in simplistic languages so that it is understandable by your peer group, or sometimes your audience, or something of that sort. So extending up, see through your audience's eyes. So this is equally important, that something you know, but when your audience is reading it for the first time, they are not aware of it. So of course, you must understand that what audience is expecting, what kind of a research potential you have, that is not essential. What kind of research they are expecting, that is most equally important. So your first audience will be your anonymous reviewers, and then will once the manuscript is published, it will go to the publishing house, it will be published, and it will be readable by your audience as well. So whom you are targeting, and seeing through the eyes of those audience, that what are their expectations, what do they think about it, whether they know about that topic, or they require some information, or some persuasion is definitely required as well. Then you start your research or through some storyline. So this is also equally important. You have to engage your audience, you have to create a star in your audience, you have to make your audience imagine, play with their emotions, so that they can relate your work to their day-to-day life activities, or it can be some having some societal issues. So these type of things must be there. So story is equally important. Story build up in a research paper or research article or in a manuscript is equally important. So what makes it most important is there any news? Is it a news? What solutions you are offering? Is the issue very urgent to the society as well? So these sort of things must be there. This you try to learn these things in order to achieve a very good research impact as well. So looking through the eyes of the audience, this is one of the takeaways. What they think about my work, whether they know the topic already, whether they need further information, but definitely you have to persuade to engaging through some story building type of thing, relate to their day-to-day life activities, and some societal offering, some solutions offering, some issues, latest issues or trending issues that has been addressed. Now here is another important thing, that you have a different audience which need different channels as well. So if you are engaging some student or a young person reading continuously into books, he will lose track. And if you engage some old people or senior people using their mobile phones, they will be also distracted. So you have to find a means for the different communication channels that you propagate your research through. So different audiences, they have different needs, and they need different channels as well through which you propagate. So walking through the different channels, say whom to propagate, or whom do you address for podcast, or whom do you address through different social media platforms, propagating your research, that you have to select. You have to know your audience. You have to know what, when, and what to say, and how do you go about it. How do you exchange your idea, or whether they are not so much active in social media platforms. How will you address it? Through mails, through other forms of communication channels as well. So it is how that you have to work out these different communication channels, by virtue of which you have to make the impact. Some people still have a notion of looking at the different databases to see your research potential as well. There are few people who work on the research gate, who look through different posts in the social media platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, likewise. So there are different ways by virtue of which you have to attract your audience and propagate your good idea about research and make your research impactful. So these are some of the things that we feel that you have to update your resume, your emails. You're organizing some science fairs. You're calling some talks, visits to the schools, visits to the different uh, organizations for propagating your work, for engaging the audience, for some public debates you can call up. Some briefings can be there through the websites, some blogging, some social media. Just as I told you, podcast can be very good means by virtue of which you can propagate your research through. And other academics, like academic work activities, collaboration, networking, some visual summaries, or what we call at these days infographics or graphical abstracts are being demanded. Definitely you can propagate your research through the journals, through the books, different workshops, short-term programs, through the print media, through the different long-standing media that we have in the form of radio or television. So these type of things, some training activities, some materials may be provided for your understanding and awareness about the different research and how impactful is your research as well. So you need to put everything at place. You have to address your stakeholders, your who are your advocates, and you have to amplify suitably. You have to address to the public at certain times, and of course you have to outreach at other academic platforms as well. So what we have told so far, that who is your target audience, the people that you need to know about your research, and because they need to act on it, they will benefit out of it, and at the same time they can have established networking with you, they can establish your collaborating with you at different forms. What tell the story of your research to those people in a language that will be that they can understand, and uh, what do you want them to know or do. So that is equally important as well. Apart from that, where should you tell your story? In a place, in a platform, in a research, using some suitable formats like media channels, etc. So this is what we had been discussing so far. Now entering into the key issue, that how we can measure the impact, that is most important, I should say. The quality of the work, the quality of the publication, or whether we will go by the times it is being cited, or we look at several parameters like H index, performance index, performance metrics, or alt metrics, which we do for social media platforms. So what kind of measures that we can have about the quality of your research, measuring from the journals where you are publishing, making some rankings for the journals, or the quality of the publication, quality of the article, the times it has been cited, or even your H index or I10 index, what we generally look at in a researcher, that is most important. So how to measure this research impact? We say that nothing will do get in this research. So there are several factors which we talk about today, and this is our last part of discussion which we will end up for today's discussion. So we have to develop and improve understanding and awareness. So change in our attitude, change in our behavior is more important. Okay, so before survey and after survey results will help you to prove your improved behavior or your improved understanding or your improved uh, awareness about that particular topic. Apart from that, economic outcomes. Obviously, when we talk about some form of statistics, say lower employment, increased amount of funding or spending, improved business activities, we talked about several economic outcomes. So measuring impact will be, definitely we are going for a design and you market it and you find that it is more costlier than the previously used devices in the market. So obviously this will be of no use at all. Environmental outcomes, even before metrics and after metrics, whether we have been able to make use of some waste quantities, whether we have been able to decrease our pollution level, whether we have been able to make use of minimal energy usage, and of course health outcomes. So whatever we are talking about economic outcomes, whatever you are talking about environmental issues, health outcomes, all these are indirect way of measuring your research to be impactful or not these H indexes or I10 indexes or quality of journal, number of journal publications, and number of sites that you have. How your research can be impactful to the patients, to the survival rates, to the number of deaths. So this is your impactful research in true sense. So there is some measure by offered by different countries, and you may look out that what they are looking at. So measuring impact is what you are planning to impact on the society, on the health, on the environment, on the energy policies likewise. So you have to define your goals and objectives. You have to ensure a good management. You have to pick your audience, choose your message, and evaluate your efforts. This is what European research and innovation guidance is all about. We have the assessment handbook of Australian Council as well. We have similar offering from uh, National Science Foundation of US as well. So whether whether I'll we have been able to engage your audience, whether what is the purpose of this engagement activity, how will you do that, or did you engage your audience, and when or how will it has made a difference. And apart from that, you can have your, whether your plan is organized or not, your audience has been able to target clearly what has been described, and intended impacts of the activities that has been described, whether that has been achieved or not. Will your audience be recruited on the basis of which, and what will be the outcomes that has to be measured. So it's planned previously, it's measuring impact means planning its impact. So this is equally important. Measuring engagement, how do you engage yourself, and how to measure that when we are interacting through blogs, when we are interacting through social media, when we are interacting through emails, when we are having some online delivery like webinars that we are doing today, some workshops that we are doing today, some talks which we are organizing, some visits that we are offering, some debates or seminars, some workshops that are taking place, some academic conferences, symposias, these are taking place, some targeted briefings as well, some project websites that you have created, some graphics or audio. Then how will you measure that, right? So when you are organizing some talks, some workshops, some visits, say for example after this talk, I'll of course look into that how many Facebook comments are there, how many of them have attended, how many questions have been raised, seeing only not only the count of audience, but simply making out a track of the matter, that what information we have delivered and what impact does it have, whether how many likes are there, how many comments are there, how many shares are there. Definitely it's even IGP or social media platform is doing in the same things. So likewise we have to maintain such type of activities to track, locate more information, count that how many recipients were there, how many participants have been there, how many readers they have clicked your message or something of that sort. So this is something which is quite natural, which we always do at. And in the academic conferences, how many number of delegates that have been offered, how many uh, poster presentations or slides were delivered, how many business cards were exchanged, some projects leading to some fruitful work has been done or not, some briefings where some appropriate audience has been intimated through emails, through by giving talks or providing some informations, giving some handouts, giving some business cards as well. And of course count the number of views, count the number of likes these days in social media platforms, and track about both the project level as well as the individual level outputs that has been hosted or that has been linked onto the site, to measure what has created or how what impact does my lecture or does my delivery, does my email, does my social media platforms have impacted. So this is what we thought that we should address today. So these type of plans and reporting you can have to engage, to log in. Normally what I do normally after my lecture through IGB platform, what I look at, that how much is the questions, how much are the comment sections, how many comments have been posted, how many shares have taken place, so that we can get at least an idea that whether I have been able to deliver which is of value to you as well. Now, how to navigate the impact landscape? There are several ways by virtue of which, and who should navigate as well. Those are also equally important. First of all, your funders, your stakeholders, your public, your researchers themselves are all keen to know about people, to benefit from research, to benefit from society, to benefit from some health issues or something of that sort. So research communication is one way by virtue of which we can make sure that your people should look about for research from which they can benefit out of it, or on which they need to act upon as well. And we can also build an awareness and trust that will make and accelerate your career ahead. And just making publications or just flashing of materials is not impact. Impact comes from some active sets to reach out to people, to identify that who can use our product, our design, our or benefit from our research as well. And explaining your findings, recommendations is in a language that can be easily understandable by the readers, by your audience as well. And also making information about uh, available formats or places that are familiar with, and use a scientific approach, plan, measure, make sure that you are spending time, and how your budget was working as well. So this is how you can navigate your research landscape or impact landscape as well. So that's, I think, yeah. I'll be happy to take your questions and talk about the different aspects that we have shared with you so long. So I think we can get it back to IGP for their question answer session. Thank you so much once again. Over to you, IJP, for your intervention into the question answer sessions. I'm done with my delivery.
Thank you so much, sir. After your presentation, I hope our knowledge seeker can learn something new, which was our only intention. Learn and grow together, IGP Knowledge Seeker. Once again, thank you so much, Honorable Sir, for your time in IGP. Sir, it's time for our question answer session, which is the one more valuable part of our regular routine. Honorable Sir, please stay with us. After a short video, we will start our question answer session. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know, speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, please ask your question in the box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, if you have any question, please ask your question.
कुछ नहीं हुआ।
Wonderful presentation, our participant can understand the topic very clearly. That's why no questions from our participants. So once again, thank you so much, dear sir, for your time in IGP. We have learned a lot from you with new topic. It will add some value to our day-to-day activity along with our academic and professional growth. Honorable sir, hope to see you again with a new topic and a new date. Thank you, sir. Take care.
Okay.
Honorable Sir, before we move to the next, dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, it's time for our webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, it's time for our webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Certification process. Visit www.edioigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. Find a running session and get enrolled. After watching completing part 1, click mark as complete. Move to the next, which is the learning test with passing mark 80%. If passed, back to the course again to download your certificate if failed to retake the quiz. Download your certificate in PDF or JPG. For your attention, I am going to share the procedure again. Step 1. Visit www.edioigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. Find a running session and get enrolled. After watching completing part 1, click mark as complete. Move to the next, which is the learning test. Passing mark 80%. If passed, back to the course again to download your certificate if failed to retake the quiz again. Download your certificate in PDF or JPG. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, it's time for our most engaging part of this webinar, which is an online quiz competition, which is our regular webinar activity. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Due to some technical problem, we are not going to start our live session, start our quiz session from our website. We are going to share the screen of Slido. So you have to join our Slido. To join the Slido, first you have to visit www.slido.com and you have to find today's morning topic, research impact, and today's Slido code is 1497666. I again repeat, the code is 1497666. After a short video, we will start our quiz session. with 18 people, we are going to start our quiz session right now. Our first question is, how does research impact EMS? Option 1, evidence-based techniques. Option 2, improving patients' outcome and evidence-based techniques. Option 2 is the right answer, and 100% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Cheryl is holding the first position. Our next question is, research impacted automatic theory. Option 1, J.J. Thomson. Option 2, John Dalton. Option 2 is the right answer, and in the leaderboard, Alex is holding the first position. Our next question is, our CSI research impact which project? Option 1, Project Stargazer. Option 2, Project Stargate. Option 2 is the right answer, and 63% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Charlie is holding the first position. Our fourth question is, considering how the research impact on those involved with the research process. Option 1, practical factors. Option 2, ethical factors. Option 2 is the right answer, and 64% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Narciso is holding the first position. Our fifth question is, research impact long-term survival of PTS. What else does research impact? Option 1, evidence-based medicine. Option 2, arrest to CPR duration. Option 1 is the right answer. 94% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Narciso is holding the first position. Our sixth question is, how can research impact technology? Option 1, we use technology. Option 2, develop new technology. Option 2 is the right answer, and 57% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Cheryl is holding the first question. Our seventh question is, the most impactful research is the most dangerous research. Option 1, true. Option 2, false. Option 2 is the right answer, and 38% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Maria is holding the first question. Our eighth question is, research impact is determined by option 1, Q1, Q2, Q3 level of journey or of option 2, contribution to economy and society. Option 2 is the right answer. 88% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Maria is holding the first position. Our next question is, these preservative use identical twins in research to understand the impact of genetics. Option 1, socio-cultural psychology. Option 2, behavior genetics. Option 2 is the right answer, and 59% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Maria is holding the first position. Our next question is effect, impact, influence, research. Option 1 in, option 2 on. Option 2 on is the right answer, and 76% people are right here. So congratulations to our online quiz competition winner top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result, and after that we will issue our online quiz competence certificate on our official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition winner top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result, and after that we will issue our online quiz competence certificate on our official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition winner top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result, and after that we will issue our online quiz competence certificate on our official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. At the end of our session, we can say properly feed your skill. Never stop learning, cause life never stop teaching us. Be happy and stay safe. See you again and again. We want your participation in every program. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not a people or things. Albert Einstein. Before I say or hit the end like button, I again wants to thank all IGP knowledge seekers for your active participation as always. See you again in the next session. Thank you.